Let's do this.
Now I know you've been cheating and lying all the time. I didn't know you were gonna be so unkind. I've been trying just to find out how we went wrong. But
Hi everyone. Okay, so I had a couple requests to do a review of the Kiss Spaceman Ace Frehley costume from KissCostumes.com, and I figured what the heck, I didn't see any on YouTube and I figured I'd give it a go. My mom took me to my first concert when I was 14 to Comerica Park in Detroit. It was the Kiss Aerosmith tour, and I've seen them 4 or 5 times since. Here's a picture of me in my first Kiss costume that was handmade, and notice how Gene has 3 chins. Finally, I decided to save up and I purchased the final costume, the one that I have right now, which is off of Ace Frehley's 1976 Destroyer phase. One thing you always notice about Ace's costumes is they're very silvery. They're usually in the V formation, the chest piece. His boots are always up to his kneecaps. Well, minus the Alive tour, I suppose. So let's get started on the costume itself. So the costume includes a few things. You get the jumpsuit, which is like a polyester nylon material, I'd say, spandex. You get the chest piece. You also get the 2 arm gauntlets, and separately you get the boots. The boots cost $199. So a little bit about the costume and the history of the costume. The costume comes from the Destroyer album / tour. It was Kiss's biggest selling album. Great songs. Shout It Out Loud, Beth, Detroit Rock City. So as you can see from this picture here, this is the 1976 original Destroyer costume that Ace wore. And you'll notice a couple subtle differences between the costume you can purchase versus his original. The arm pieces, the shoulder pieces, they are more flat and a little wider in the original costume. Also, the arm gauntlets are going to be less textured. They're more flat. The chest piece as well, you can see, is very stiff. The sequin placement is pretty similar. You'll also notice that less attention is paid to the detail on the silver lining on the neck. When Ace Frehley redid the costume for the Psycho Circus tour in 1998, he added rhinestones to the jumpsuit, which is on the costume that you can purchase. He also made a couple little differences into the chest piece. The shoulder pads became shorter and more raised, giving it a better effect. The stitching on the silver lining also became bigger as well, so the padding, the stitching lines were wider. So let's get going on with the actual review of the costume. Here is the jumpsuit itself. So as you can see, it's got a zipper front, and you zip on that. There's sizing charts on the website, and it's fairly accurate to what your real size is. The only thing I notice is that this is the medium size, and I have slack room in my legs and as well as the pelvic region. You'll notice slack. It's not skin tight, except up in the upper chest and the arms, where I notice it is pretty tight. The rhinestones, which you can see, they're not really rhinestones so much as they are studs. See if I can get you a little detail on this. There's a close-up of one of the studs. And the studs are not glued on or anything. They're actually put on with, well, like a stud is, it's pronged into the back. You can see the entire costume is done with prongs. All the sequins, all the rhinestones, all the studs, and that's one of the prongs. They do stay on. I've never had one fall off. I've taken this to Kiss concerts and walked all over with it. So the quality and craftsmanship is really good. As far as cleaning goes, I've never had it clean, but I would assume dry cleaning. And then you'll also notice on the bottom, there's foot straps. And these are elastic. You put the costume on, and this goes underneath your foot on the sole. This is to keep it in place and to make sure it's taut, so it kind of gives it a little stretch. On the costume front and back, there's actually Velcro stuck onto the midsection, both front and back. You can see a little bit of Velcro here, and then also on the back side, and that's to secure the chest piece. It's extremely high quality and very, very accurate to the Psycho Circus costume. You'll notice all the sequin placements are identical. It's made of a stiff, I don't know what you would call this material. It's kind of rubbery. It's got a kind of a plasticky rubber feel to it. You can see the close-ups there. The stitching is all well done. I've never had anything unravel or come undone. But with that being said, be careful removing this and taking it on and off, because while it is high quality, it is not invulnerable to tearing or fraying or whatever you'd want. On the back side, which is what I was really impressed with, here's the detail on the sequins, and they're extremely well done. The rhinestones and sequins are beautifully placed, very accurate to the original. The belt, it's all stitched on. The belt's attached by stitching to the front here. You have Velcro on the back of the belt. Here's the back side of the costume. And you see, you put it on, you put the Velcro to connect the belt to your size, and then once that's on, you slip it on over your head, and there's Velcro on the back here. You attach that, and then all you have to do is attach the Velcro that's on the jumpsuit right here. You attach it onto the jumpsuit and attach the Velcro back here, and there's a long strip of it too, you can see. So you can just attach that to fit your sizing needs. So it's got a little room for slack, which is nice. Oh, one other thing. You notice in the original and even the current version of this that Ace wore, notice that it seemed like it was stiff on the chest piece. The silver lining is stiff, but the black, you can see, is just thin fabric, which is the only discrepancy I noticed. And I mean, this does help though as far as movement and your mobility range, but I mean, you can see it stretches a bit. Next are the arm gauntlets, the armband. Like I said, the same thing with the chest piece is that they aren't stiff. That was my only big complaint, and unlike the chest piece though, there's no Velcro for these. So when you stick them on, you're literally just putting them on. I mean, there's nothing to support them, and they will fall down after walking even, 20, 30 steps. You can wear them up, but not really show accurate. But the sequins, again, rhinestones, are beautifully placed. They are all put on individually, and I don't know if you were able to see this, but you can see the black fabric here. If it shows up in the camera, it's kind of got like a glitter to it. Not even so much a glitter as like a glossing over. And when it reflects in the light, it's pretty cool. It gives it kind of a sheen. It looks more space-like. Again, the stitching on the silver padding is very nice. There's a stitch running down the center. It's very firm. Like I said, like a foam. I probably would bet foam on the inside of all this, and then it's covered with material. That's probably what I was feeling when I said the rubber kind of texture to it. I'm pretty sure it's the foam inside of here. So the only thing, though, that was a problem with the arm gauntlets I noticed immediately was these rhinestones did not want to stick on very well. I noticed that on the big ones here, the little ones not a problem, but these bigger ones, they wanted to come up, and I had a couple of them actually come off as I was kind of doing this with them. Very easy to come off, but there's an easy solution. All you have to do is get a hot glue gun, and which I did, and I got the hot glue gun, put a droplet under all of the big stones and big silver pieces, and they are absolutely perfect now. I mean, I've never had one fall off. So my recommendation is if you get this costume, check out the armbands. The chest piece, fine, never had an issue. The rhinestones on the suit don't fall off, but these definitely check because you're moving your arms a lot too. The boots are a whole other story. Those are separate, and I gotta say the quality is really, really impressive. Here is the box, and again, these are very accurate to normal sizing. Like mine were a medium. The boots come in a very well constructed, graphically designed box. And on the inside they do come with a sheet of cardboard between the boots and some packaging material as well. It does come with a little notice for you though about the costume and these boots. It says, "Fun Costumes boots are intended to replicate the original in appearance only and should be limited to costume use. Excessive stresses may cause separation of the sole and potential result in injury. Fun Costumes is not liable for any such damage or injury." But that being said, I have taken these to concerts before, and they're really, really durable. I've walked through puddles in these. You can see on the bottom there's a little bit of a roughness to them. They textured them so you don't slip as easily, which is really nice. They're very heavy too. I would say some kind of very thick cork or wood underneath for the platform piece here. You can see the stitching again, all machine done, but very accurate to the original. The silver material is extremely accurate to the original, and just like the original. There's a zip around the side, goes all the way down to the base of the boot, and on the inside is just normal padding with the KISS sticker, KISS label on the inside. There's a thick kind of leather pleather padding up at the top to seal it in. Like I said, I've never had a problem with stitching or things tearing. So the boots are definitely worth $200 in my opinion. I feel like I own the original pair. The stitching as well on the sole is extremely tight. There is no leeway here for this to come undone, which is great. You can see here how well, I believe it's stitched and glued, but I could be mistaken. And like I said, I've worn these to shows before and I've never had a problem, but they are heavy. And that being said though, I didn't have a balance issue when I walked in these the first time, but the weight is hard to get used to. It takes a lot to be able to get used to having to walk around in these, and you kind of have to tread carefully, not because of balance, but because of how heavy the frickin' platforms are. After that, I mean, I was fine, but after about a good hour or so of on and off walking, my feet were killing me in these. They are not comfortable. I would highly recommend a gel insole Dr. Scholl's padding in here because they are definitely not made for comfort. But then on the other hand, they weren't intended for comfort. Alright, and the last thing I wanted to show you guys was the wig. I actually purchased the KissCostumes.com Tommy Thayer Spaceman wig. This is the package it came in. That being said, when it comes, it kind of looks like this, and I was like, okay, is this Severus Snape or is it Ace Frehley? But it's synthetic hair, but the cut is very accurate to Tommy Thayer's haircut, not Ace Frehley's, and it is black synthetic hair, just like Tommy's. Makeup does kind of get on this, so I was careful when I was applying makeup. I would say leave a little bit of room, like an inch or so, where you don't apply the makeup, or apply it and then wipe it off. Because as you can see, there is some makeup on this wig, and I tried wetting it and rinsing it, and I got most of it off, but you can see there's some, it looks like Tommy Thayer's getting some gray hair here, but the best thing you can do to kind of unstiffen this and get it to look natural is that I took it out of the package, let it set out for a day, and then I put it on and used a comb and brushed through it. I got rid of all the loose hairs, and it actually, when it was all said and done, looked just like his hair. So, you know, it's actually pretty decent quality, I gotta admit. I've had the wig for over a year now, I've used it a few times, and, you know, there's not a lot of loose hairs that come flying out of it. I'm running my hands through it as we speak, and I'm not getting any hairs coming out of it. So, that's pretty much most of the costume review. The only thing I've never bought is the stencils. The stencils you can buy are like temporary tattoos where you apply water and puts the makeup on for you. I don't think they look very accurate in my personal opinion. You can see a link here to my other KISS video where I did the makeup tutorial for Ace Frehley's Space Ace makeup design. And overall, I spent $450 on this costume and it was worth every cent. Extremely high quality, minor flaws, beyond accurate to the 1998 Psycho Circus version of Ace's Destroyer costume. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. It was actually a lot of fun to make. I hope it was helpful. I think I covered everything, but if I didn't, just leave me a comment below and I can answer any questions, or if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.